Hey everybody, and welcome to week 5 of Groups at Home, our final week together as we have been navigating this series and conversation called The Gospel of Friendship. I've been really reflecting a lot on my own friendships and kind of taking a pulse of the kind of friend that I am. I hope you have as well. I was thinking today and this week recently about a car that we just got rid of. It was a car that we loved, but a car that was not very loyal to us. It broke down often. We had to fix all sorts of things, all kinds of times, and spent way too much money. And though we loved it, it did not endure for us. It was not faithful. It did not stand up to the test of time. And so we had to offload that car for hopefully a new, stable, secure car. Why am I talking about a car? Because I've been thinking about my friendships a lot in that regard. What friends have stood the test of time, have been faithful, or have been loyal? Have I been a loyal, faithful friend that has persevered and has stood the test of time? We all want things in our life that are reliable. And today I want to talk about the reality that good gospel friendships are loyal and enduring. They are not betraying, they are not flaky, but they are faithful, they're loyal, and they endure the test of time. Now, that doesn't mean that all of our friendships have to be, at the same depth forever, but do you have loyal and enduring friends? One of the pictures of I believe, a loyal and enduring friendship that we see in the Gospels is absolutely Jesus and Peter. Jesus and Peter had this close brotherhood. Peter, though he himself betrayed Jesus, Jesus was a loyal and enduring friend to Peter, even restored him on the shore. And then as you flip through the New Testament, we're introduced to a man named Paul. Paul, who is his Roman name, his Jewish name was Saul, begins to proclaim the gospel and meets a friend named Timothy, who comes to faith. And we get these letters between Paul and Timothy that are marked by an endurance, a perseverance, a faithfulness to one another. In the book of 2 Timothy chapter 1, we read Paul's letter to Timothy where he is charging him with courage. And we just kind of see in that first chapter markers of a loyal and enduring friend. The first thing we see is that loyal and enduring friends are marked by prayer. They pray for one another. I love what Paul writes in 2 Timothy chapter 1. He writes, "I thank my God constantly. When you come to mind, day and night, I constantly remember you in my prayers." And I just have to reflect on my friendships and say, man, are my friendships marked by praying for one another? Do I know what I need to pray for my friends? Am I committed to day and night and day, praying and interceding on behalf of my friends? And how would prayer change and deepen a gospel friendship? The second thing we see in 2 Timothy is that Paul is a friend that reminds Timothy who he is. Life can busy us up and kind of pull us in pieces. And Paul writes to Timothy, and remember your faith from the beginning. I remember, Paul writes, about your grandmother Eunice, and I remember your faith as a child. And Timothy, as you are in the pressure cooker that is life, I want you to remember that this is who you are. This is who you've always been, and this is who God calls you to be. And I love this moment that we just kind of see exposed in this letter, that their friendship was one of almost like a mentor writing to a mentee, a loyal and enduring friend that said, in the pressure cooker of life, Timothy, don't forget who you are. Remember that you are a much loved son of God. Remember that you are deeply loved by those around you. Remember that your faith is real and is alive and active. Don't forget who you are. Do you have a friendship? Do you have friendships marked by that reality? That you remind one another who you are. You see somebody going astray, or see somebody getting frustrated, or see someone going into themselves, or going down into a pit of despair. Do you have friendships? Are you a friend who can speak truth in love, to pick somebody up and say, no, this is who you are? We see that in 2 Timothy. Last, we see that Paul reminds Timothy. He is a loyal and enduring friend. He reminds him and calls him to a bigger story. We read this verse, fan into flame the gift of God. Let the Holy Spirit do a work in you, Timothy, Paul says, as he grows you up and he sends you out and he calls you to a bigger story. This is maybe one of my favorite things about friendship. I have a few friends who call me periodically and they'll say, Bramer, how are you doing? How are you doing really? And I'll say, I'm going through this and I got this obstacle. And his name is Matt. He'll always say, well, remember, if not you, then who? God's put you and worked you through and carried you through all these different obstacles for such a time as this. And I know he's got bigger things ahead of you. And so continue to be faithful, reminding me who I am, praying for me, and putting courage inside of my chest. Man, to have a friend along on the journey of life who prays for you, who reminds you who you are when you're struggling or when you're down, and who calls you up to something bigger, who reminds you of the gift of God in your life, you can accomplish anything. We started this whole series with that Turkish proverb, no road is long with good company. And my prayer for you, my prayer for us, my prayer for one another, for the church, is that we would experience the gospel, the good news of Jesus Christ in and through loyal and enduring friendships, that we fight for one another. We don't give up on one another. We're patient with one another. We're charging one another with courage. And I pray that as you open up 2 Timothy chapter 1 and the beginnings of chapter 2, that you would be spurred on to deepening conversation and that you would grow into a loyal and enduring friend. I pray this conversation blesses your group, and we're praying for you. We're praying for you right now. Bless you.